Lorenzo's Quest to Bunny's Lair, made by Giancarlo Gatti. To Lorenzo, I hope you find some enjoyment out of this book, even with your dislike for literature. Your buddy, Giancarlo. Once upon a time, there was a fearless boy who lived in Washington, D.C. He was only known as Lorenzo the Great. Lorenzo was armed with his unique teleportation abilities and a special bow and arrow that can absorb the darkness in the air to grow in strength. He also had his trusty sidekick, Kobe the Caterpillar, along his side. On a rainy day while playing Wii Party with Kobe, Lorenzo's brother Dario entered his room. "Hey man, there are some kids being forced to read difficult books by the evil Bunny the Librarian. You should get down to his secret lair. I'm pretty sure you need to go through the freaky forest, but after that, I'm not too sure." Fueled by his hatred towards villains, Lorenzo set out on his epic quest. He was not sure where to go after the freaky forest, but he needed to stop Bunny as soon as possible. Lorenzo and Kobe plodded through the woods and met a stunning lady with flowing golden hair. The lady turned around to look at them. She stated, "Young boy, I'm going to grant you my blessing on your journey. The path you must seek will be through the dangerous desert up ahead." "Thanks, but how did he know we were coming?" Lorenzo asked. "I had a dream that a boy and his caterpillar would come. No more questions. Get on with your quest," she whispered gently. "Thank you, miss," said Lorenzo, remembering he didn't catch her name. But before he could ask for the lady's name, she already had vanished into thin air. He looked around the area, but didn't see the woman anywhere. Lorenzo didn't know who she was, or how she managed to sneak away so stealthily, but there was a tone to her voice that made her seem trustable. As both of them were running, Kobe sensed a different presence lurking behind a bunch of cacti. Nevertheless, he thought nothing of it and continued. "Man, this desert heat is so tiring," stated Kobe, panting heavily. "I should have thought of bringing a water bottle, but I had no idea that we had to go through a desert and that the journey would be this long," stated Lorenzo, frustrated. "I am so tired," moaned Kobe, almost collapsing to the ground. Moments later, Lorenzo and Kobe sat on a nearby rock to catch their breath as the dangerous desert's heat was almost unbearable. Meanwhile, Dan the dictionary happened to be patrolling the area. These people are crossing into Master Bunny's evil lair. Who are they? Master Bunny didn't tell me we had visitors. They must be intruders," he muttered to himself. He positioned himself behind a bunch of cacti and steadily crept up to the rock where Kobe and Lorenzo were resting. Suddenly, Dan the dictionary tried to close itself and make the weary travelers part of its pages. However, Kobe managed to push both of them out of the way of the ensuing pages. Kobe then wrapped himself around the book to close it shut. "Wow, that was sudden. Thanks, Kobe. I really don't want to be part of the dictionary. I prefer adventure books or mystery novels," shouted Lorenzo, laughing heartily. "Haha, me too. Dictionaries bore me. Anyway, we need to get going before Bunny realizes that he can't get into contact with Dan, and something must have went wrong in the desert," Kobe said wisely. "Yeah, no time for chit-chat. We need to save the children," Lorenzo screamed valiantly. When both of the heroes reached the librarian's lair, they were tired but ready for whatever came their way. However, a small part of the ground outside collapsed before they reached the lair and formed a deep chasm, separating the heroes from the door. Bunny the librarian must have initiated a trap. "How did he see us?" Kobe asked with a puzzled expression. "He probably tried to call Dan, and when he couldn't, he suspected intruders were coming," responded Lorenzo. "Oh, okay. That makes sense. Anyway, Lorenzo, use your teleportation powers to take you over this thing," stated Kobe. Lorenzo was only able to teleport a limited distance and couldn't take two creatures as it would leave him too tired to confront Bunny. "Okay, Kobe. Thanks for all your help. Wish me luck," Lorenzo said with an assuring smile. In a blink of an eye, he teleported over the chasm. When Lorenzo opened the door to the lair, he met eye to eye with Bunny the librarian. "You will never end my reign of terror. The kids of this world need to start reading more complex literature," shouted Bunny, his voice echoing off the stone walls. "That is true, Bunny. However, you cannot force the children. They must decide to do it themselves," Lorenzo exclaimed heroically. Bunny lunged forward with his meter stick, but Lorenzo dodged it majestically. Lorenzo then drew his magical bow and arrow, which had the capacity to absorb the darkness in the air. Unfortunately for Bunny, his lair was dark enough to make his bow grow in size. With a quick release, Lorenzo shot the bow into Bunny's foot, injuring him severely. Eventually, Bunny the librarian surrendered and promised to stop forcing children to read difficult books. Lorenzo was victorious! When he teleported over the chasm, him and Kobe high-fived and walked back to their house in Washington, D.C. to continue their game of Wii Party. In the end, Kobe won. At long last, everyone lived happily ever after.